Hello guys, and welcome back to Serious About Salvage. Another video on the channel, and especially on this Q3 S-Line Plus that we have. Today I'm hoping to make some progress, get the engine back on its mount, sort out some pipe work, and maybe we can crack on and get the rad pack on, some coolant in it, and get it running. That's the plan, but as usual, quite often we come across problems that delay things. So we're just going to have to see how we get on. It's a bit of a tricky one, this one. There is some issues. I did talk about them in a previous video, but my main problem is I have a couple of coolant pipes damaged on the front. Specifically this one and this one that's snapped. Now the problem is they're on back order at Audi, and I've tried several breakers and they've either been sold with the engine or they just cut them when they're ripping engines out. Breakers don't generally tend to sell much coolant pipes wise. They do the bigger stuff like that, the big ones on the front of the radiator, but these little ones that just go around the engine, no one seems to have them or seems to care. I tried to get what I thought were the right ones. I ended up with them too, which was a total waste. So my plan is, for instance, this pipe here, it's got this little bit of a rubber section to start with, and then it's crimped onto a hard plastic pipe which goes round, and then on the other end of it, down there, is another section exactly the same as that, and that one was exactly the same. So my plan is to make them myself with some pipe of my own. So it's braided, same inner diameter, that is exactly the same, that pipe is exactly the same as that piece on the end. So there's no reason why it won't work. And they were £6 each, so 12 quid should sort them two out. The other one we've got an issue with is this top one, which has a plastic fitting on one end and then just normal pipe on the other. It goes on there and into there, and right at the end there, you see that hole? We need to somehow shorten the distance between the 2 points, cut that end off and refit it, because again, back order, can't get them from Audi, and I can't find any breakers that have them. So we have no choice but to try to make our own there. Like I said, I've got my engine mount off a T1, that, funnily enough, same part number. I haven't got the fuel filter housing yet, but that's not a big issue. We're going to remove that, pull it out of the way to do the engine mount and the pipe work. Might come today, it might not, but it won't stop us from doing other stuff. It runs with that on, it's just I can't remount it properly, it'll just have to be loose. And then it's going to be a case of seeing if we can get the rad pack on and just move forwards with it and see what we come across as we get to it. But like I said, the main thing is getting this engine back on its mount and dealing with them water pipes. So what we're going to do, obviously the engine mount is first, so I'm going to put you on a stand, I think. I'll get this fuel filter housing moved, and then we're going to have to prop the engine up from underneath, remove the old mount, get the new one on and try and pull the engine forwards, fix it back into position. So that should be fun. So let's get on with it. Now, as always, before we start, if you do like these videos, please do consider subscribing to the channel. Big thumbs up, and any comments I'll do my best to get back to. So let's get going. Alrighty then, we've got it back on its engine mount. So the engine is back now in the straight, which is a relief. It took some faffing about though, I'll tell you. I had a jack, obviously, on the sump. Now the sump on this is metal, it's not a plastic one. If it was plastic, I wouldn't put a jack on it, obviously. But it's a metal sump. But trying to pull it forwards and get the bolt in the engine mount was fun. But it's in there, all tight, all good, and the engine is now back forwards and straight. So that's good, that's one job done. And also my new fuel housing, replacement fuel housing has turned up. So we can do that. And this is the old engine mount. It would have been in that way. That should be in there. And that is the end part. So yeah, knackered. And I think if you would have seen the grinder in there, that was because the back mount on the engine mount was, not the back mount, but the fixing for the rear end of the engine mount was bent. So I couldn't wind it out. I had to cut it out, which was interesting. But yeah, it's out, it's done, so that's one job out of the way. What I want to do now, oh, a bit croaky. What I want to do now is deal with these two plastic lines that I'm going to replace with hose. And I'll do the fuel filter as well at the same time. So this is going to be a bit of a tricky, slow boring job. So I'm not going to put the camera on, it's going to be a waste of time lapse, and I'm conscious that you're probably going to get a lot of time lapse in this video as it is. So I'll get them pipes replaced. I'll come back on, I'll show you what I've done, and then I think it's going to be a point of putting the rad pack on. And get the rad pack in, get that bolted up. We'll try and get some coolant in it and hopefully get it running. Make sure there's no leaks. That's going to be the main one. So yeah, I'll crack on for a bit and I'll let you know how I'm getting on. Right then, update time. I'll tell you what, we're making some good progress. I'm really, really happy with how that all went. Like I said, I've rerun 2 new hoses with Jubilee clips on for them 2 pipes that were broken. And I've managed to shorten the top one and it's gone on no problem. There's still plenty of slack in it. So really happy with all that. They run really nice, exactly the same path as before, and connects up at the back. Perfect. And yeah, fuel housing, all back in place. It's gone really well. It's looking nice, neat and tidy. Now, I've plugged this together just so I remember which way around they go, and I need to get a new plug for that, so I don't want to forget that. So we're pretty much now ready to put this front end back on and get all these pipes plumbed back up, coolant in it, and get it up to temp, pressurised, make sure there's no leaks. So yeah, whilst I had the fuel filter in bits, I put a new filter in it. So it's had a new fuel filter. They're the 2 old ones from the one on it and the housing that I bought. And this is the old housing, so it was the mounts that were bangled. The actual housing's got a little dent, but it's also full of crud as well. So it was definitely due a filter. I can't remember which one. I'm pretty sure it was this one. This one was the one that was in it. So there's no real way of knowing how new it was, if it's ever been changed or not. But it's got a new one now. So yeah, we're ready. Our front panel is here. I've taken off anything I don't need. I do need to take off that hose there yet, which might just be easier to do it in place. So it's just going to be a case of offering it up, get all the chassis leg bolts in, and it should pull up nice and snug, neat, and shouldn't be any problems. It should, like I said, these chassis legs aren't bent, so it should just go straight on, and that'll be a good place to get to when getting that front panel on. Made some good progress on this car. So I'll get you on a bit of time lapse now, and we'll see what we can get done. Wow, look at that. What a good do that was. That's gone so well. It's unbelievable. I love buying these complete front ends. Makes the job so much more easier. We do have to contend with obviously higher prices and having to sell stuff afterwards to make the money back, but it's so much easier to do the job. I can't recommend it enough. Buy a front end if you're going to do one. So for the time being, everything is fixed in the centre of whatever movement it had. It went together perfect, but the front ends do have a bit of movement, so it's all centralised as much as possible, so if we need to move it around any direction we can. Absolutely everything is connected up. I'm telling a lie because I haven't connected that. It's a good job I saw that then. I'll leave it loose and make sure I do it. Everything except for that pipe is connected up. All the wiring's connected up. I've even managed to fix this plug. So fingers crossed that's okay. Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. It's gone unbelievably well. I'm really happy. So all we're going to do, other than putting this pipe on, which I'm going to do now, is basically get some coolant in it, and fingers crossed we have no leaks. Let's get this on. These don't have an intercooler, they have a charge cooler. So this little radiator at the bottom is also full of coolant. Come on, this isn't easy with one hand, I tell you. Can I do it? Can I do it? Yes, I can. Right, sorry about that. So, like always, it's just a case of getting some coolant in it and looking for leaks. And splashing all over the place. Again, trying to do this with one hand isn't the best idea. So, I have a stand, might as well use it. So we'll just pile a bit in, and then have a quick look around, make sure I've not forgotten to put anything on. Here, Alright, I found the hissing noise. It's one of my new pipes. I've nipped up the Jubilee and it's stopped. So we're just going to have to see how we get on with that. Or is it pressurising the system? We're going to find out pretty quick if it's leaking. But we're already leaking. Where are we leaking from? That was a good start, wasn't it? Let's have a look. We've got a leak. Yeah, fresh coolant. Come on, Ram. Have a look. It's running down this pipe. Interesting. I'll have a look for it and I'll let you know. I'll come back. Right, well, that didn't go too well. As you saw, we've got a nice big coolant leak. I've managed to find it, and it's yet another plastic pipe on the front of the engine. But it was the back of the pipe It's the one that goes right in the centre of the block. Now I've got it out after a lot of faffing around, and it's this piece, it goes in like that, and the crack is on the back. I don't know if you can see it. Get some light on it. You see it in there? Nice big crack. Not sure if you can see it or not, but yeah, that's where it's coming from. So, yet again, it's back to the drawing board. I can't repair that, that's for sure. So I'm gonna have to find that somewhere. So yeah, we can't continue to fill it up right now, which is a shame. But you know what? I'm not ending this video here. We're going to get this coolant in this video. So what I'll do is I'll stop the video now, I'll source this part, and then we'll have another go, have a take two at trying to get this thing full of coolant. So yeah, I'll see you as soon as possible, and we can continue. That's a bit of a bugger, that's annoyed me. But oh well, it was going so well, wasn't it? It was going so well. So we wasted a bit of coolant, 2 litres, but that's the name of the game. Right, alright, I will be back as soon as possible with a new pipe, and we'll continue getting coolant in this car. Alright then, so I'm back. And yeah, things have changed since you last, well, a second ago on the video. I've got all the front end off again, and that's because we've got more problems. I had noticed this last couple of days whilst waiting for that pipe, the alternator hasn't been working. So my plan was to take the front end off and have a proper look at the alternator. And basically the alternator's knackered. It would appear anyway. Like I said, we had a bit of plastic damage there, but inside it's actually bent a little bit, and the plug snapped off. So I think it's just a case of getting a new one. I think there's no point messing with it. That needs replacing. So whilst I was in there, I was poking around where these pipes went, because I had a bit of a suspicion there was more damage, and yes, there is. There is 2 more pipes that go right in the back of there. That one goes in like that, and as you can see, the housing's cracked at the top there, and then into that fitting goes this one, and yet again a massive hole. So yes, excellent. And you won't believe the aggro and hassle to get them 2 bits out of there, because on top of here goes your oil water exchange cooler thing, which is there. I had to take that off. I had to take all the intake pipe off. It's not easy. It's a nightmare. Various pipes, which I even had to take the wheel off the oil belt tensioner to get to the bolt for the alternator, aircon pipe off. Oh, what a stupid idea half this stuff is. So anyway, it's all the parts, and I'm now as sure as I can be that there's nothing else broken. So we're going to have another wait now for them 2 pipes and an alternator. So I'm going to end this video here because I need to get it uploaded. You're due a video, and this is the one you're getting. So although nothing has ended up being done, a lot was done and had to come back apart. Yeah, I don't know how the video's going to turn out, in all honesty. I hope it's okay, and I hope you enjoy it. But yeah, for now that's going to have to be it until we get these parts. Then hopefully we can finally get this front end back on, coolant in it, and it's not going to just pour back out the bottom. So yes, there we go. I think it's 1 step forward, 2 steps back for this video. But this is the difficulty we're trying to repair salvage damaged cars, you go backwards and forwards a little bit. Eventually it'll get finished, but it's just a delay of parts. Now I don't know how hard it's going to be to find them 2 plastic pipes. I've already struggled with most of the stuff for this car, either not being available from the dealer or no second-hand parts. Until I search for it later, I don't really know. I know the alternator's available. I did check the other day just in case. But yeah, we'll have to come back to this car as soon as we have the front end parts for it. Now, the dashboard and the interior should be here any minute, any day now, so we could do a video on doing the airbags and everything. But the front end's gonna have to wait until them pipes come. So yeah, I won a car today as well. The most money I've spent on a car and the biggest risk I've taken, I bought an Audi RS5, 2014. So really nice car. I'm not going to tell you anything else about it because I'm hoping to go and collect it tomorrow. So there should be a video up shortly on that, but I cannot wait. I'm so excited. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you as always for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm getting some nice cars coming in, and you'll start said that RS5's coming. So thank you, appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.